So what is an arithmetic series? Well, of course, it's the sum of an arithmetic sequence. So it's going to look something like this. U1 plus U1 plus D plus U1 plus 2D, and so on and so on and so on. The final term will be exactly the same as the formula for the nth term, of course, if we've got n terms in this list. So there we are. Now I can write it again. I'm going to write it backwards, and we're going to add the two ways of writing it together. That's going to help us to prove a really important result. So writing this same thing again backwards, we're going to have the first term last and the last term first. The second to last term will still have a U1 in it, but it'll have one less D. So I guess we'll write n minus 2D, and so on. And then the penultimate term this way around will be U1 plus D, and then finally, of course, U1. So as I said, we're going to add these together. This will give us two lots of Sn on the left. Now on the right, every term is going to be the same, right? They're all going to be worth the same value. Now I'll explain why that is in just a moment, but let's just write it out. So we'll have U1 plus U1 plus n minus 1 D, and then the next way around, so that's these two terms here, look, added together. And then we'll have the next one, which is these two terms added together. Let's do that again. So we will have U1 plus D plus U1 plus n minus 2D, and so on and so on and so on. Now these are the same. If we start to expand this, I'm sure you agree, you're going to see two U1s in every single term, look. Okay, so you can see there it is, there and there, look. And in the next term, you've got it there, okay. We're definitely going to have two U1s. And how many Ds will we have? Well, we're going to have exactly the same, because in that first one, well, we've got n minus 1D, but it's the same in the second, because this is n minus 2 lots of D, but we've got another D, so it's going to be n minus 1 lots of our D. So let's write that n minus 1 D. So this is what we've got over and over again. And how many terms have we got? Well, of course, we've got n terms, right? All the same, n terms. So using some tricks we've already covered in previous videos, we can certainly say that 2Sn is going to be n multiplied by 2U1 plus n minus 1D. So dividing through by 2, we're going to end up with a finalized formula for the sum of an arithmetic series, and that is going to be n over 2, 2U1 plus n minus 1D. Now, you need to remember that. It's an important one. It's given to us in a formula booklet, but it's important we do remember them as well. There is another result which we can also just use as well very quickly. If we just rewrite this ever so slightly, we can say it's U1 plus n minus 1D. I've just split apart the U1s. The reason to do this is because if we think about this part, well, that's the formula in itself for UN, right? The general term in the arithmetic sequence. So therefore, we could swap it out. We could say the sum of an arithmetic series is n over 2 U1 plus UN. And that formula can also be used. So there are our two formulas that we need to now use for some example questions.